All right, good morning. This is the North Island. This is the top deck for Top Gun, which consists of 9 deck maneuvers. Maneuver number 1 is the blindside 45 curb side. Maneuver number 2 is the side 45 alley. Maneuver number 3 is the blindside 90. Maneuver number 4 is the blindside 45. Maneuver number 5 is the side 90. Maneuver number 6 is the side 45. Maneuver number 7 is the blindside parallel. Maneuver number 8 is the side parallel. And maneuver number 9 is the straight back into the Maverick dock. First, I'm going to show you maneuver number 1, which is the blindside 45 curb side. You start out here in the Maverick dock. So we're going to pull straight ahead out of the Maverick dock. As soon as you're able to get your trailer clear, you come to the right. Make sure you watch your mirror to make sure that your tandems clear the cone on your right side. And make sure you stay as far to the right as you can to allow your tandems to come around and clear Bob, which is on the ground here. Okay, you can see Bob in your hood mirror and your convex mirror. And as you're coming around to the left, you can peek out your window and see Bob in your window. Okay, come around, make sure you're clearing Bob with your tandems. As you're coming around, then you're coming up to the right, you turn to the right and come up to the curb side over here. Okay, turn in and make sure you get parallel with the curb side, and then watch your tandems to get your tandem gap aligned with that yellow cone that's on the ground back there. So you watch your right mirror, look at your front tandems to see when they get to the front line right there. And then as soon as you judge that, stop, and your tandem gap should be aligned with the cone that's on the ground. So once you do that, you're going to set your brakes. We're going to get out and look, and we're going to mark it on the ground. And then you're going to get back in the truck, and then we'll continue on with the maneuver where we're going to back up and get our tandems between the line on the goose dock. So that's what we're going to do right now. We've already got out, looked, made the mark with the tandems. Now we're getting back in the truck, and we're going to back up to the goose dock. Now, as you're backing up towards the goose dock, you're lined up with the Hollywood curb side. As soon as you start reversing back, turn your wheel to the left to start pivoting around that green cone that's by your tandems. So you're going to pivot your tandems around this green cone. Okay, watch it in your convex mirror. You can see the goose dock. Okay, wait for your tandems to start angling towards the goose dock. As soon as you see that, turn your wheel to the right to open it up to not allow your tandems to come in too soon. As you're coming around, you'll be able to see the goose dock in your flat mirror. Once you're able to see the goose dock in your flat mirror, then you guide your tandems towards the goose dock. Okay, just small wheel turns. Watch the tandems and guide them towards the goose dock. As soon as you see your tandems angling towards the goose dock, open your angle up and see where your tandems are going. If you don't know which way you're going, then make sure you get out and look. That's important. Now I see my tandems are coming to the goose dock. Now I'm going to give it a little bit more harder left to allow my tandems to create more angle, to allow my tandems to pivot around into the goose dock. Okay, now I'm looking at my convex mirror right now to see when they're coming around, when they're almost angled towards the dock. Once I see that, then I'm going to open it up quickly to allow my tandems to come around into the goose dock. If I'm not able to get my tandems into the goose dock between the lines, then I pull up and get straight around on the space, and then I back up to it. Right now, I'm angled in, I'm not as quite straight, but I'm at the goose dock. Now I'm going to pull up forward to the left get straight around the dock. And once I'm straight around the dock, then I get straight on the trailer. And then I reverse back into the goose dock. While I'm doing that, small wheel turns, small angles to get myself aligned between the yellow lines at the goose dock. Okay, as you're coming back into the goose dock, check your mirrors, like say left or right. It's more like windshield wiper eyes when you're straight on the trailer. As you're coming back to the space, once you get the back tandems at the top of the line in the space, then stop. And you are in the space with the goose dock, and that completes maneuver number 1. Okay. Now we're going to move on to maneuver number 2, which is the side 45 alley dock. Okay. So we're going to pull. We've just completed the maneuver number 1 inside the goose dock. Now we're going to start at maneuver number 2. We're going to pull out of the goose dock, and we're going to come back up to the side of the Hollywood curb side. All right, once we get to the side of the Hollywood curbside, and then we should be able to see Bob in our left mirror, then we stop. You know, we always want to be angled just slightly towards the left to the space that we're going to, which is the Viper dock back there for maneuver number 2. Now we're going to reverse back, and we're going to use Bob as our pivot point. So back here on the ground, as you can see, there is a circle back there that says, is labeled cap. It is the create angle point. So when your back tandems get to that point, then you start creating angle. Okay, right now I'm watching. I'm waiting for my back tandems to get to that create angle point. Just before it gets there, as I see it, then I start creating angle. Right now my tandems are just before the create angle point. Now hard right to start creating angle. Watch your mirrors as you're coming around. Okay, create angle. I say watch your tandems when they start angling towards the space. Once you see that, right now, my tandems are angled towards the space. Now I'm going to open it up. Or try to get in front of the trailer. But open it up and get in front of the trailer, that's both the same thing. Now I'm going to open it up, come around with the tractor, try and get in front of the trailer. I'm watching my mirrors. Now in my mirror, there's a secondary pivot point, which as I'm coming back, I'm going to pivot to the left around that secondary pivot point to get my tandems into the Viper dock. Okay, smaller angles, smaller wheel turns until I get to the pivot point. Now I'm at the pivot point. I'm going to come back and I'm going to pivot around that point. So harder right to create more angle. Watch my tandems when they start angling towards the space. Once I see that, once I see my tandems start angling towards the space, now I'm going to turn my wheel hard left to open it up to try and get in front of the trailer to get my tandems between the goose dock. Okay, make wheel adjustments to make sure that you get your tandems towards the dock. And like I said, if you can't quite get your tandems between the dock, then pull forward, do a serpentine to get yourself better lined up with the space, which I'm doing right now. Doing the serpentine, come around to the right, let the tandems react, come back around to the left, let the tandems react, and then you should be lined up with the space. Then you can back up and get your tandems between the lines at the Viper dock. So as you're coming back, like I said, keep your eyes moving left to right to see what both sides of the trailer look like as you're coming towards the space. Watch those tandems, guide them towards the Viper dock. Okay. As you get there, so just remember when you come into the Viper dock that the Viper dock is a 9-foot space. It's a lot smaller than the other space. Just get the tandems between there and you're all set. So right now I have my tandems between the lines at the Viper dock. Now that completes maneuver number 2. Now moving on from the to maneuver number 3, which is the blindside 90. We're going to start in the Viper dock and move forward from the Viper dock. So here we go. We're going to move forward. Once we get the front of our trailer to the yellow line at the goose dock, then we turn left, come around to the edge of the perimeter here on our left. The reason we do that is to allow our tandems to track around the cone that's here to our right with our tandems. Okay, watch your mirror in your left mirror to make sure that your tandems are clearing the cones, and use all the perimeter as we're coming around. Okay, stay to the left as far as you can to allow yourself to track around the cones. Okay, come around to the left. Right now we're coming through the Iceman Alley. It's a 25-foot space. Okay, as we're coming forward on the ground right here, you can see where it says turn number 3 and 4. When the nose of your truck gets to that mark, then turn hard right. And come around, watch your tandems in your right mirror and your hood mirror to see if you're tracking around the cones properly. And then come around and get your nose of your truck to the 4 cones right here in front of you. Okay, and once you get there, stop. And then we're going to reverse back to do the blindside 90. As we're reversing back, keep your trailer straight. Back there on the ground, you'll see a line. It says correct. That is your correct angle point. So you keep your trailer coming straight until your back tandems get to the correct angle point. So watch it. So take it slow. As soon as your tandems get to correct angle point, then correct angle. So right now I'm watching in my right mirror. My trailer's straight. I'm looking for the line. Right now my tandems are just before the correct angle point. Now I am going to correct angle, hard left to start creating angle. Now as I'm creating angle, what am I looking for? I'm looking at my convex mirror. And I'm looking at my flat mirror, okay, to see, first in my convex mirror, I'm looking to see when my drives and my trailer are perpendicular. Also too, I'm looking to see in my flat mirror when my fairings and my trailer are perpendicular. Okay, keep coming around. I want to get to close to as 90 as I can. Right here. That's about 90. If you can't tell, you get out and look just to make sure. But right now, as I'm looking at it right now, this is 90. Once you get to 90, stop, turn your wheel hard right. Okay, so with this maneuver also too, your primary focus, the initial focus is your drives to see when they're perpendicular underneath the trailer. Once you've seen that and you get to 90, then you start chasing it around, and then your focus is your tandem to see how they're responding coming around the pivot point. Okay, so right now I'm hard right. I'm tracking around, trying to get the trailer in front of the tractor in front of the trailer. I'm watching my tandems in my hood mirror. I'm taking it slow. As I come around a little further, that's why it's gonna switch to my convex mirror, and I can be able to see it a little bit better, a little clearer in my convex mirror. Okay? So I'm coming around. Right now I can see my tandems in my convex mirror and my hood mirror. But in my convex mirror, I get a better view. Right now I'm looking in my convex mirror. My tandems don't look as straight as they should be. So I give it just a little bit more angle, turn my wheel to the left, give it just a couple of feet more of angle. Then I chase it around, hard right again, and still continue to get in front of the trailer. As I'm coming around, make sure I check my left mirror also See what my left side looks like. And now as I come around, I see that my tandems aren't quite straight again, so I'm gonna give it just a little bit more angle. Watch my tandems, just a few more feet, chase it around and get straight on it. As I check my mirror, now I'm a little straighter with my tandems, and then I'm coming into the space. Now, when you do the blindside 90, like I said, the Iceman Alley is a 25-foot space. You don't have to be centered inside this space. However you come in, that's where, in the position of your truck, that's how you stay. Okay, now we're in the space, and that completes the maneuver number 3, which is the blindside 90. All right, maneuver number 4, which is the blindside 45. We're gonna start in the Iceman Alley in this position. We're gonna move forward. Once you get to the sign on the ground that says turn number 3 and 4, get your nose of your truck into that position. Then turn right and come around, and we're gonna come straight towards Bob. Okay, get your truck coming straight towards Bob. Just before you get to Bob, turn to the left. Turn to the left, get an angle, see the side of your trailer. Once you do that, then come back around to the right. And once you bend to the right, stop. And your trailer should be angled back towards the Iceman Alley. And in front of your truck, you should be stopping right in the space where the Viper dock is. Okay. Now, once again, on the ground, you still have the line that has the correct angle point. You keep your trailer coming straight until your back tandems get to the correct angle point. That is when you start creating angle. Okay. Do not say you have to turn your wheel left to right to make sure that your trailer stays straight. You just can't hold it in one position and think that your trailer is going to come straight. Okay, a negative and a positive keeps your trailer coming straight, which means left to right, a little bit of left, a little bit of right. Okay, now I'm watching, my tandem's almost to the correct angle point. Now when we're doing the blindside 45, your main focus is your tandems and watching your tandems. Okay, what are we watching for? To see when our tandems angle towards the space. Once that happens, then we chase it around to get our tandems pivoting around the pivot point. Okay, now I'm at the correct angle point. Now I'm gonna turn my wheel hard left to start creating angle. Okay, right now I'm watching in my convex mirror, okay, to see when my tandems start creating angle. Also too, once I lose sight in my convex mirror, I have my hood mirror. So I'm coming around. Okay, judge it. Now, like I said, if you don't know, get out and look to see where, how you position. Right now, I believe my tandems are at the created angle or angle towards the space. Now I'm gonna chase it around. So come around slowly to see how my tandems are responding, coming around the pivot point. Okay, as I'm coming around, if they're not pivoting around, then I give it some more angle. Okay, I'm waiting for my view to transition to my convex mirror to see if my tandems are coming around the pivot point. Right now they are. Look like they're coming straighter, so I'm gonna keep my wheel turned hard right. Okay, as I'm coming around a little bit more and I can see a better view in my convex mirror, now I see that my tandems are angled. So once I see that my tandems are angled, when they're at the pivot point, then I'm gonna turn my wheel to the left, give it just a few more feet of angle, wait for my tandems to come around and almost straight. Once I see that, then I chase it around again. That was only a few feet of coming back for a few feet. Now hard right to chase my truck around, to open it up, to get straight around the trailer, to bring myself into the Iceman Alley space. Okay, as I'm coming around, I'm still watching in my convex mirror. Now, as I'm almost straight on the trailer, now I can transition to my flat mirror. And I have I'm a little bit of angled in the space, so I'm gonna come around and get myself straighter. Okay, so you don't need much angle, just a little bit, then chase it around and get straight back on the trailer. And you are in the space. Okay, good. So come back straight, get straight on the trailer, come back into the nose of your truck, gets below the green cone, and you stop, and that completes maneuver number 4. Now we're going to move on to maneuver number 5, which is the side 90. So we're going to start here in the Iceman alley. We're going to move forward to use all the perimeter. And we got to go forward. We're going to move forward to use all the perimeter to the left. So stay as far to the left as you can when you're doing the blindside 90. This time with the blindside 90, we have to track around Bob. So we're going to stay more to the left because we're going to be tracking around to the right. As you're tracking around, you can see Bob in your hood mirror. So use your hood mirror to make sure that your tandems are tracking around Bob without running over Bob. Okay, use all your perimeter coming around. I see Bob in my hood mirror. I'm keeping an eye on Bob and my tandems to make sure that my tandems are clearing. Like I said, stay to the left as much as you can to make sure that you're clearing Bob. As soon as you're clear of Bob, you can come in a little sharper because you have to come. You have to come around to these 3 cones in front of you. Get straight on the cones and stop. Now we're going to reverse back. And behind, let's say behind you, like I said, there's a line up with the correct angle point. So you keep the trailer coming straight. Watch for your back tandems again to get to the correct angle point. I'm watching in my left mirror, my left flat mirror. So just before my tandems get to the correct angle point, they're just before the correct angle point. Now I'm hard right to create angle. Okay, once again, like I said, we're going to get to 90. So this time when we're doing the side 90, you can clearly see your drives in your left mirror. Okay? So we keep coming around until we get our drives perpendicular underneath the trailer. Like I said, when we're doing the side 90, our first focus is our drives. First, we got to get it to the 90 position. Okay. Right now, we're at the 90 position. Now we're going to chase it around, hard left. Now, once we start chasing around, now our focus is our tandems, because we want to see our tandems come around the pivot point. Okay, we're watching our tandems and watching our trailer is coming around to the left. As long as your trailer is moving around to the left and your tandems are, then you keep the wheel hard left. Okay, it's coming around. While you're watching your tandems and your trailer, if they start angling as they're coming around the pivot point, then you need to create more angle to get the tandems pivot around the pivot point. So right now I'm still coming around. My tandems are coming around, they're coming up straight. They're coming around the pivot point, they're coming up straight, so I keep my wheel turned hard left. Do not change your wheel position as long as your tandems and your trailer are coming up straight. Now I'm coming around, as soon as you start getting straight on the trailer, get your steers back to straight. And now I am lined up with the Maverick dock. So I just make small wheel turns, small angles to get myself positioned between the lines on the Maverick dock. I said once you get lined up with the space, there's no big angles or big wheel turns. Just come straight, watch both mirrors, back and forth. Like I said, windshield wiper eyes, that's what I call them, to keep yourself to see what's going on both sides of your trailer. Like I said, once again, once you get the tandems to the top of the yellow lines, stop. And right now I'm coming, my tandems are getting to the top of the yellow line, and stop. And that completes maneuver number 5, the side 90. So now we're going to move on to maneuver number 6, which is the side 45, and that is maneuver number 6. So we're in the Maverick dock, and we're going to pull forward. Okay, come straight ahead. Just when the nose of your truck gets up to Bob, just before that, then come around to the left. Do not run over Bob. As soon as you bend, come around, your tandem's clear, come back to the right, and come straight to these 4 cones in the corner. Okay. As soon as you get up here to the 4 cones, then stop, and you'll be angled back towards the Maverick dock space. Okay, now we're going to reverse back. Once again, keeping our trailer straight until we get to the line that where the correct angle point is. Okay, watch your tandems. Like I said, you have to keep your steering wheel moving left to right so that you can keep the trailer straight. Okay, now I'm watching my mirror to see when I get to the correct angle point. I'm watching. Okay, my left mirror. So right now, my tandems are at the correct angle point. Now I turn my wheel hard right to start creating angle. Hard right. Watch my mirror. My primary focus is my tandems. I'm watching my tandems until to see once they start to angle towards the space. Right now, my tandems are angled towards the space. Now I'm going to chase around hard left to get my tandems to pivot around the pivot point. Like I said, you want to keep an eye on your tandems to see if they're going to pivot around. If they don't pivot around, they're going to. If you see them angling towards the space, make sure you turn the wheel to the right to create more angle. So right now, as I'm coming around, I'm watching. I can see it in my convex mirror. I can look back. Right now, as I'm coming around, my tandems at the pivot point are angled. So once I see that, turn my wheel to the right, just create just a little bit more angle. Doesn't take long, just a couple of feet. Then chase it back around to the left, because that's enough angle. So hard left to get it coming around. If you went over Bob, that's okay. So right now, once you come around, if your trailer angles into the left, then you stop and automatically pull up to the opposite direction, which would be the right, to get straight on the trailer, and then to come back into the space. So right now, my trailer is angled in the space, so I'm going to pull up to the right to get straighter on it. Okay, get straight on the trailer, check my mirrors, and now I'm lined up with the space. Now I reverse back to get myself between the Maverick dock. Okay, small angles, small wheel turns to make sure you keep your tandems aligned inside the space. Okay, watching my mirrors, small wheel turns, small angles, get straight on the trailer, and bring my tandems back into the Maverick dock. Okay, my tandems are at the top of the line. I'm going to stop, and that completes maneuver number 6. Now we're going to move on to maneuver number 7, which is the blindside parallel. Okay, so there's 3 phases to this blindside to the parallels: the side and the blind side. So the 3 phases are: we have to pull up and back up and get ourselves lined up with the parallel space. That's the first phase. Once we do that, then we're gonna pull up and get our setup, and that's gonna be phase number 2. Then once we back up to get ourselves into the space, then that's phase number 3. So I'm gonna start with phase number 1, which I want to move our tractor over to get lined up 2 to 3 feet away from the space. Okay, so here we go. So I'm moving forward. So I want to move my drives over first, over 3 feet to get them away from the space. Once I see that in my mirror, okay, I'm moving over. My drives are about 3 feet. So I'm going to come back around to the left, wait for my tandems to react. Once I see that, then come back around to the right, let them react and get straight around the trailer, and I should be 2 to 3 feet away from the space, which I am right now. So now, that's phase number 1. Now that I'm up here, now I'm going to back up and get myself lined up, or not lined up, but to the side of the space. Okay, small wheel turns, small angles to make sure that I keep myself straight and lined up against to the next of the space. So I'm backing up right now, getting myself lined up, checking my mirrors left or right to make sure I'm coming back straight. Okay, take it slow. Okay, once I come back and get my nose of my truck below this green cone, then I stop. Okay, I'm looking. I can see the green cone. Now I can stop. And that completes phase number 1, which is getting yourself lined up with the parallel space. Now we're going to move forward to start phase number 2. So as soon as you start moving forward, turn your wheel to the left. Okay, get the trailer moving left, hold the wheel. And once the green cone gets to your door, turn your wheel back to the right to get your truck coming straight. Once your truck comes straight, you'll have a small bend or small angle with the tractor and trailer. Now what you're looking for is when the back of your trailer gets to the green cone. Once you see that, then you're going to turn to the right. So I'm looking right now, the back of the trailer is at the green cone. Now I'm going to turn to the right and stop. Get a slight angle with the tractor and trailer. Okay, get my steers back to neutral. Now I'm going to reverse back. Now that completes phase number 2. Now we're going to bring our tractor and trailer into the parallel space. So right now we want to create a little bit of angle to get our tandems to come across the second dotted line back there. Okay, so right now I'm going to reverse back, turn my wheel to the left, move my trailer to the right, just to create just a little bit of angle to make sure that my tandems come across the second dotted line. Okay, you got to watch it. Okay, so turn my wheel to the left, get these tandems coming across the second dotted line. It doesn't have to be a big angle. You have to so here we go. So right now I'm creating a little bit of angle, judging it. Now once I think it's there, hard right to come around and see if my tandems are coming across that second dotted line. As you see, they are. They're coming across the second dotted line, and we want to maintain this angle with our trailer coming into the space. We have to get our tandems deep into the space in order to get our tractor into the space. So right now I'm watching. What the next thing I'm looking for is when my back tandems gets to the center of the parallel space. Once I see that, then I'm going to turn my wheel hard right to get my trailer coming around to the left. So right now I got a good angle. I'm waiting for my back tandems to get to the center of the space. Once I'm watching my right mirror to judge that. Once I see that, now hard right, my tandems are the center of the space, come around hard right. Now once I start bending, now I'm going to switch my view from right to left. What am I looking for? To see when my tandems start almost coming up straight. Okay, I turn and look out my window. Okay, tandems are almost straight. Stop, hard left to chase it around. Okay, as I'm coming around, I'm watching two things, watching my tandems and also watching my drives to see when they're getting to the yellow line over here. So I'm looking right now, so it looks like my drives are at the space, at the line. So I'm gonna stop, come around hard right as much as I can. Okay, watching my tandems. Okay, stop. Now come back around hard left. Because now my trailer's in the space. Now I'm trying to get my tractor into space. So come around hard left. Watch those tandems. Watch my right side. I see my drives. They're clearing the yellow line. Coming around. Make sure I keep my tandem straight. Give it a little bit of angle. Chase it around. Okay. Stop. Now pull back around to the right. So try and get straight around it. Come in hard right, then come back to the left. Okay. Okay, try and get myself a little straighter into space. Okay, one thing about, like I said, the parallel, as long as you get your tractor and trailer inside the space, it doesn't necessarily have to be straight, but as long as you get it inside the space, that's a good job. So I'm getting pretty straight right now. I know I'm a little close to the line. It just, like I said, it just all depends on how far you come in with the tandems. All right, so now that I'm back up, get myself centered. And that completes maneuver number 7, the blindside parallel. Okay, now I'm gonna move on to maneuver number 8, which is the side parallel. Okay, same thing. The side parallel is the same thing as the blind side parallel, except it's going to be opposite. Now we're going to move to the left to get ourselves lined up with the side parallel space. Okay. Okay, we're coming over. So this time when you do the get lined up for the side parallel, you have to bring your drive just a little bit further past the space, and then come around. Let your tandems react. And then once it's come around enough, then come back around to the left to see where you're lined up at with the side of the parallel space. Okay? Like I said, it's not going to be, you're not going to be quite where you want to be once you come around, but when you reverse back, then you get yourself repositioned to get yourself 2 to 3 feet away from the side parallel space. Okay, smaller angles, no big angles. Smaller angles to reposition yourself. Now check my left mirror. I'm about 2 feet away, so I'm gonna back up and move it over to the right just a little bit, get myself lined up 3 feet away. Okay. Once I see that, get straight on the trailer and back up and get myself straight and lined up with the side of the space. Okay, once again, as you come back, get the hood of your truck below the green cone and stop. Okay, I'm below the green cone, now I'm stopping. Now like I said, that completes phase number 1 of the side parallel. Okay, so now I'm going to move forward. Like I said, once again, as you move forward, turn your wheel to the right. Like I said, it's going to be opposite of the blind side parallel. So turn your wheel to the right, get your truck moving right. As soon as it starts moving right, hold the steering wheel. When the green cone gets to your door, then turn your wheel back to the left to get straight on the truck. When the truck is straight, get your steers back to neutral to come straight. Like I said, once again, you're watching to see when the back of your trailer gets to the green cone. Once you've judged that and you see it, then turn your wheel to the left to bend and stop. Say once again, it gets steers back to neutral. Okay, we're going to reverse back to create angle to get our tandems coming across that second dotted line. So I'm going to turn my wheel to the right. Okay, get enough angle. Doesn't have to be a big angle. So you just probably a few seconds coming back. Then chase it around to see where if the tandems come across that second dotted line. Okay, now I'm looking, watching my tandems. Okay, as I'm coming around, it's in the position to come across the second dotted line. It's not exactly honest, it's a little bit above it, but that's okay. So get the angle with your trailer coming into the space. Okay, watch your tandems. Make sure your trailer stays straight. Okay, so that your tractor can come in. And they say, watch your tandems to see when they get almost to the center of the space. Judge it. They're at the center of space, hard left to get the tandems coming around. And you're gonna watch in your convex mirror to see when your tandems are almost straight. Once you see that, then chase it around, hard right. Now I'm looking, they're almost straight there. Now chase it around. Okay. Chase it around to get your tractor into the space, hard right. Say watch your left mirror to see how your drives are coming in. Okay, stop. I'm getting close to the line. I'm gonna pull back hard left to get my tractor in, get straighter on the trailer. Okay, then stop, come back hard right to get straighter on the trailer, and you should be in the space. Okay, I'm straighter on the trailer, get myself centered in the space, and that completes maneuver number 8. So last maneuver, we just completed maneuver number 8, which was the side parallel. Now we're gonna move on to the last maneuver, which is the straight back. So we're gonna pull out of the side parallel and come around and get ourselves lined up with the Maverick dock and straight back into the Maverick dock, and that will finish maneuver number 9. So come around, let your tandems react, bend a little bit, like I said, 10 to 15 feet of reaction time, come back around to the right, get straight on the trailer, and then you should be lined up in the vicinity of the Maverick dock, and then reverse back to get yourself inside the Maverick dock. Like I said, small angles, smaller wheel turns, watch your tandems to get yourself inside the Maverick dock. Okay. So we're coming back. They say when you're straight on the trailer, it's windshield wiper eyes. You look left to right to make sure that your trailer is coming straight into the space. Okay, right now we're lined up. I'm straight on the trailer. My steers are pretty much straight. And I'm almost to the Maverick dock. Okay, once I see that the top of my tandems are lined up or are at the top of the line, then we stop. That completes number 9. Set your brakes, put it in neutral, and then that completes all 9 Top Gun deck maneuvers and Top Gun all the way.